because Czar looks like he's going, like you said, with the standard kind of rainbow assortment of mages and the fighter. It looks like we're about to get underway very shortly. So, what do you think is going to be the item that's going to troll our runners this seed?
That's a good question. I'm expecting something like the canoe early with the crown. That would be something fun.
That would be interesting. Now, with the canoe and the crown early, would you immediately go and do the crown quest, or would you dive a bit to see if you could find more items?
Try to find the crown. To do first to beat Astos, and after that maybe check Elfland and see where you can go on the world, and after that finishing the crown quest with Matoya.
And we are off. Czar immediately going to the king and getting the rod. Meanwhile, Will is getting life, and there's harm 2 in the white magic shop as well, but life in a non-red mage learnable slot, so that might be a little upsetting.
But still, the red wizard could learn it, and like depending on what we'll get in for items, it's especially the tail. If you find it, you will be able to learn it. So, and like the knight would be able to learn it as well. So I don't think it's that big of a deal for now, because life is mostly you really want it for a Temple of Fiends Resident, and it will come true.
That's a great point. So, we've also seen that both gold bracelets and pro rings are available in Canaria shops, so that's really nice to see early, even if they don't have the money quite yet to get the stuff.
I don't know when they will pay everything for that. How the seed will grow, but I think it's really a matter of when you feel ready to get for armor-wise.
Looks like Will's choosing to try and dodge some of these fights. Maybe he's going for Garland a bit faster. I'm wondering when he's going to start trying to level.
Check chest faster, maybe it's gonna pay off. For now, maybe he'll get something else.
Well, there's a small chunk of change right there. Considering that his only real damage dealer right now is the Black Mage with Ice 2. Meanwhile, Czardia, with both the Red Mage and the Black Mage having that, is deciding to get a couple of levels from the imps right outside of Canaria before heading up. Ooh, and the Flame Sword is a nice pickup for one of the first items.
And like, especially if you've got two people who can wield it, that will help.
It's pretty nice. Also finding the ship in the box next to it. Ship in a box, anyone? That sounds like a fun IKEA kit.
Also means, like, if you find a crown, it might be fast enough to do the crown quest right early. And what will?
That is a good point. Garland's down on Willcleosis' side. Let's see what Sarah's gonna give our light warriors. Oh, and just a floater right off the bat. Well, that's nice.
That's a big question. Where's the canoe?
I'm betting canoes with Vicky on
enough.
this one.
But like, it could technically be something like Vicky has, like TNT. That would make it interesting, and like, the word of canoe would mean opening a lot of spots where it could be.
That is something interesting. That's the case. Canoe could technically be with the Circle of Sages if Vicky does give the TNT.
I played a seed recently, and it was the case. It's possible. It's very possible you don't think of going there because, oh well, you have to walk and two peas and lobster. Is it lobsters? Not lobsters.
Lobster is one
all
of the true in-game
the
bosses.
Enemies, and that's. Do you really want to do that for that long, or do you want to maybe check Earth if you got the TNT?
That is also a fair point. How many places do you dive before going over to major NPCs? Looks like Will's gonna head straight for Provoca and for the pirates, so we're gonna see what they have really soon. And he's not even going for the level 2 magic, he's just going straight for him.
Since pirates are safe, it's not that... The only thing that could worry you is if they have death touch, but like they can't really kill everyone in the party.
Well, they could. It's just not likely. And pirates being absolutely no problem. Well, that's different. Vicky giving the cube. Okay.
So we've got the Marsh sheet, probably.
Oh no. You're thinking it's gonna be a Marsh. That's both kind of mean and entertaining.
You have to find the TNT. I don't know where it will be, but it's either in Marsh or in the two. I don't think everybody checked. Oh, they did check the two chests and.
I did not catch the black magic in that shop. But we've got, we've got Invis 2, 4 white magic at level 2, that's really nice. Looked like at least Bane was in level 2 black magic, so... maybe Bane strats?
Not a bad level, and like, you know, you want to sometimes kill faster Tiamat and Kraken, and you don't have Nuke yet, you don't have Fade yet levels, we don't know, so we'll have to, you know...
Jack bringing up a very good point. Lazy Dwarfs is still on the table.
For meme also, you can use Quake. People use that, you will do with that, but like, it's still useful.
It is useful depending on the enemy you choose to use it on. Will's gonna head up to Matoya to see if those 3 chests have anything. Hopefully between Matoya and the dwarves, something's gonna open up so that they aren't forced into Marsh Cave. Because if there's nothing else really useful for black magic at level 3 or 4 in Elflands, Ice 2 is not what I would want to go into Marsh Cave with.
It's not the best, but like you still have Outland in case.
Ogres with cremate! Ouch! Will using one of those, looks like cabins, to prevent any possible horrible ogre maiming again.
Well, you have them, you might as well check.
When Zara finding out about that lovely cremate from the ogres.
Dragon armor.
Matoya having the dragon armor and some extra cash, so she's out for anything useful right now.
I think they're going to want to keep the dragon armor, and like the tail becomes that much more interesting. Especially if you don't find a ribbon. Pretty much covers you for every of the elemental, well, the 3 major elemental spells. Lightning. You've got protection against all of those, that helps.
That does help. Something I didn't notice prior, the ogre encounter is unrunnable, so we've got unrunnable ogres with cremate. Now, the reason why the ogres are unrunnable is that there's an option in the randomizer to shuffle runnable and unrunnable encounters, turning the run command into a wait command for those encounters that have been switched around. So, this is how you end up with unrunnable cremating ogres. And it is not the dwarf cave that has what we need. That is not fun. That really only leaves us with one other option. Allie, what is that lovely option that our runners have now?
I think it's Marsh.
I think it's Marsh. Czardia checking the white and black magic. We have level 3 Expert and Fade for white magic, and I did see Fire 3 for black magic in there. So that's going to be nice going into Marsh. Though you're not going to have nearly as many charges of either as the runners are probably going to want.
Remember for the red mage, so that will help also a lot. For Czar, with his party having 2 fate casters.
That is going to be really nice.
And
Cure
like
3 and Heal 3. Look 3 at level 4 as well, so Elfin's got some pretty nice magic going on. Our runners aren't going to have as many charges as they would really like to have of those spells for a little while, but they're going to have to make do with what they have. Both of our runners are going to stock up on some items right now, because I think Czar might know where he has to go, and I don't think he's happy about it.
you have to do it. It's not like you have a choice. So the question is, will we find the canoe or will we find the TNT?
That is the question. So, I think Will also knows where he has to go, considering he has checked the dwarves in Matoria. So he's gonna heal up his light warriors, and he's gonna go probably down to Elfin to see the lovely cache of magic that awaits him. Czar looks like he's heading up to the dwarves because he hasn't checked them yet, so he's gonna be rewarded with a large, decent sum of cash. These ogres are not fun.
It's never good when you find unreliable ogres. Especially if they've got cremate.
It's a question, chat,
So
of
it's
is
super
there...
early in the game.
Sorry, go ahead.
So it's not like you are equipped in terms of like HP to like really take a lot of those hits.
Now, there's a question in chat of, is there a technical go mode in Final Fantasy Randomizer? There is. You have to have all of the progression items to get into the dungeons, so the Oxyale, the Chime, the Cube, and the Rod, as well as the means to get there. You also have to have the Loot and the Mystic Key. Now, a lot of things, something that a lot of runners don't often realize is that you do need the Mystic Key to get through Temple of Fiends Revisited, as a little ways in, there's a locked door that if you don't have the key, you can't get through. Now, in the vanilla game, this is an issue considering how early you get the key anyway. But in Randomizer, oftentimes if you have to go digging for the crown, have to do that quest, sometimes you forget, and then you get to the locked door and realize, I can't get through this. Oh no, I must have missed something.
Yeah, that's a good question. The way, and like you really need to know, because the way it's set up, it allows you to know there are like really 8 items that you need. But like sometimes you need more. Let's say if you need the shape or the TNT, for example, get the canoe or even the ruby could be required because like we've seen this earlier in a seed. Well, you never know what you're going to need, and if you need that, you might as well and get all the that you know where they are, and after that find the items.
Now, I'm curious as to see if Will's gonna go do any form of level grinding, considering level 4 Marsh Cave does not sound fun.
He's going back to Kuroka, so something.
I'm wondering if he's gonna go grind in Peninsula of Power.
How much longer will it take you?
Oh, okay, he's gonna buy some silver bracelets for his party first. That does make a lot of sense. Oh boy. Czardia is gonna go to Marsh Cave. This is not something I think any of us would enjoy having to go do. So what do you think's gonna be done in Marsh Cave Valley? You think we're gonna get TNT or the canoe?
I'm hoping for something like the crown. That would be something interesting. But like, I don't think it's. Is it possible to play? Because we didn't get small item consider unless it's... Could be wrong though. It's the crown. What would it? It could give you the TNT later, but where are the other major items? Unless the rubies required for this seed.
Having a ruby required seed after forcing our players to go into Marsh for something? That's mean.
I'm like trying to figure out what are the possibilities, and I think those are the only.
I'm agreeing with you. But considering how the seed is going, no, I can see it actually. I can see it.
A ribbon. That's an interesting pickup.
That's a really nice pickup early.
If we always have to start with a fighter, the answer is no. The fighter was the first party member. There are 6 party members, and tonight the die roll on the fighter.
Will is gonna go do a Peninsula of Power Grinds, and with just Ice 2 right now, and very few casts of Fire, oh, okay. He's smacking things with fighters. Oh, they do have harm too. I guess I completely missed that, so that's not as bad. Alright, let's see what's down in Marsh Cave. It's the TNT! Now let's see if Zara's gonna split her, if he's gonna check the rest of the chests down here. Ooh, Mage Staff is nice early as well.
It's a good pickup, and mostly because like you don't want to use them, and like especially if you find the Green Medusas in TFR, that is a really useful find.
Especially when you've got, well, it doesn't really help against the unrunnable wizards, but especially when you've got enemies that are not so nice. But this is not fun. And they've got stun dodge. All for 2 gold! Oh no! another question in chat of shuffled unrunnables doesn't change the unrunnable fixed encounters. That it actually does to some of them. For example, those wizards. Sometimes you can run from those wizards. Another big example is the Phantom in Temple of Fiends Revisited. You can run from that sometimes. It's really nice.
Though there are some that are always unrunnable bosses that it's considered as such that you need to talk to, they'll always be unrunnable. And also, I think the Wiz Sahag or Red Sahag combo in Sea Shrine. So the rare counter the Iron Golems in the air floor in Temple of Fiends on Tiamat's floor, but it's so rare. Like, it's technically impossible to see more, but like it's so like you don't see a lot of encounters. Maybe you see a couple, and like it's rare to see that encounter anyways. But it's an unrunnable.
That is correct. The Wiz Sahagins Red Sahagins fight is always unrunnable due to the fact I believe it shares something with the Kraken fight, so it has to remain unrunnable.
But wish I knew more about like which encounters was which party.
Well, speaking of Sahags, now Zara must make his way out of Marsh Cave with his hard-earned loot of the TNT.
The big question is like, what will he do once he gets the TNT? Which one will he look for? I'm guessing he's going to. Where he'll go. If it's ice, if it's volcano. Depends if. Oh yeah, you're gonna get the canoe. I think you have to get a canoe. Peruka, but Crescent, because like I don't see what else it could be.
Well, sages could technically have the ruby, which would make our runners have to go back to the Titan to give the Titan the ruby to get something from Czardia.
Sometimes I'm like the logic. Sometimes you forget what to do with it. You always need to think outside the box. Sometimes like, wait, could this work?
Well, there's still the possibility for the ruby locked seed.
Ruby lock seed. That would mean that some important item could not be at a known location, and that you would have to hunt for it.
That would be mean. They already had to hunt for the TNT.
I know it's possible. I've played some seeds where you had to find 2 items, so I know it's possible.
In my seed just the other day, I had to go find the crown and mermaids. So I understand. Oh, chat being even meaner and saying Ruby can be an Earth.
Earth, it's not that bad actually, because like it would mean that you will get the canoe in.
Not necessarily. Crescent could give something, again, something chat suggested, Crescent could give something unhelpful, like the bottle.
Well, but like, oh yeah, technically, yeah, well, yeah, unless there's something to buy.
That is true, we have not seen the vendor item. That could be in Crescent.
one downside of handing the TNT to Merrick will be that they want to go back to do the long walk. Once they get the crown quest going, and they want to check what are locked by behind the key. Items to check. Is it 8? I think it's like around 8 items that like pretty quickly, so it's still better. And like they might I think wait when they have like something like 4 per exit.
That's fair. It all depends right now on what the Circle of Sages has for our runners. So there is a flag called the Fun Percent flag, which changes some of the enemy names. It will mostly change some of the enemies. So instead of some of the ogres, we have Georges. Instead of the great imps, we have grumps.
Instead of the wolves, we have the ooh. Yeah, I'm probably owing money for saying that.
Chat, why are you so mean to our runners tonight? I mean, yes, RNG exists, but do we really wish that on them?
A question in chat, is the FF3 graphics a different flag? One of the fun flags, yeah, it is. Flags you've got Modern Battlefield. It's called Modern Battlefield, so you can have that look that is newer, that looks more like a fantasy than the first one.
Oh, chat. So, Will having fun the TNT, Zar checking Melman's. Now, looks like he is going to go to the Earth Cave currently? Nope, I take that back, he's leaving.
I'd be surprised he goes to the Earth anyway, just because you don't have the rod. Or
No, they have the rod.
Oh, you do. Oh, sorry.
The king gave the rod.
Like, you probably still want to find a floater before going diving, because, like, you know that you're gonna get progression, some sort of progression, whether it's whether it's the canoe, whether it's that will give you a floater, whether it's the canoe that you can buy to give you the floater, and like if it's the canoe that you need to buy, it's not. If it's a canoe that you need to buy, you can probably go and grind, gain levels. And Crescent Village is a nice place to grind. Sure, Zard will need levels. Gets into once he gets into whatever he wants to go next, whether it's ice, whether it's volcano, whether it's waterfall. I don't think he would go to waterfall yet because he doesn't have the ball. But like it's possible. He doesn't have the ball translated yet.
Will is
So, like,
leaving Marsh. Has got his TNT. Zara's gonna check the level 6 white and black magic shops just to see what might be waiting for him. Quad X at level 6. I'm sorry, Split Punch, but there will most likely not be any of those memes today. As Zara goes straight for the sages, what do they have? They have the canoe.
Floater incoming.
Oh, absolutely. Floater incoming. Chat's not getting the troll they wanted. I, for one, am slightly okay with this, because it means that our runners don't get horribly trolled. I think I'm one of the only people that doesn't want to see our runners horribly trolled. Because chat's really rooting for it. Well, Zara's heading to Ice Cave and dealing with unrunnable wizards, so that's always fun. Look, I try to be nice to the runners, considering that the last thing I want is to curse anyone playing this game, and because I know of some of the horrible trolls that can happen. Though, to be fair, with both Zar and Will, who have often stayed up very late into the night, doing some of the alpha testing and beta testing with a bunch of us, we've pretty much seen about all there is.
I don't think you would be surprised about anything with this. The question, like, the troll is usually not bad if you understand the logic. As long as you understand, the question is, like, will you go to the right place? That's the only problem when you have, like, find items, but, like, in this seed, it wasn't, so, aside from the TNT.
Yeah. See, even if this seed ends up trolling our runners a bit, they can probably figure out anything thrown at them. Now, with there being an incentivized item in the eye chest in Ice Cave, what do we think it's gonna be? Personally, I'd like it to be the tail.
Tail wouldn't be bad, because tail would mean that you have to go to Ordeals and Waterfall. I wouldn't mind finding the crown, though.
That was a very interesting colored mage. Very mean, interesting colored mage. Alright, we're about 30 or so minutes into the seed. Just a quick recap for anyone who is just joining us. The king gave us the rod, Sarah gave us the floater. Wait. Yes, that sounds right. Sarah gave us the floater, we found the ship in a box, Vicky gave us the cube, and we found the TNT in a box in Marsh Cave. There was also a ribbon in Marsh Cave, which was nice. Oh, and the canoe was vanilla, but nah. Will just now getting to see the magic in Crescent Lake as Zara picking up the white shirt behind the white dragons. Well, technically they're the frost dragons, but with the fun percent flags on with the fun enemy names, they are the white dragons.
It's a good pickup, and like, you know that the white mage can equip it if you don't find a ribbon. Well, you have a ribbon, so it's not going to be a problem. But like, it still protects you against, I think it's fire, wreck, and death, which is not that important because you probably have a pouring deep like into UFR, but like mostly you can use imps to cast for free.
Being able to cast out of the white shirt is really a nice thing to have. This is interesting. Will heading straight into Volcano, probably going for the armory on the second floor.
Playing. I mean, you know you're gonna get stuff here. The question is, will it help you to buy? I don't know. Maybe you want to buy other stuff after. Maybe it's spells. Maybe you're looking for gear. Probably, I think one ribbon won't be good enough. But like you wouldn't mind a second ribbon because that would mean that you are less worried about FR.
Ooh, Dragon Sword, nice pickup, and the Opal shield. Once our runners find the tail, that's going to be really nice for at least one of Will's fighters. And the Rune Sword, from what I have heard, is the best sword for a thief. And a gold bracelet too, so... Ooh! I believe it was 2 heal helms and a Mazmoon. That's nice.
The Mazmoon means that you can probably not check a lot. The question is, especially for someone like Czardia, I think he really wants to find that Vorpal. I don't know if he's going to find it. I'm not sure if he's probably gonna check the armory. That's a good question. Like, will he check it? Weapon. So I'm like, depending on when he's going to check Volcano, if he finds a weapon like Excalibur or like he finds Vorpal, he might say, I don't really need another weapon.
Czar finding the slab in the ice cave, and it looks like he's going to take the eye grind for a bit. As Will comes across some Peds. Peds being lovely for experience.
Have to have that juicy Peds.
I'm wondering how long Czar is going to grind on this eye for experience and levels.
Yeah, I don't think it's that great because he's unrunnable and you have to get out. I don't think they have exit, so it's not a lot for it's gonna help a lot. It's not like you can go get out, so like you have to go back to the long cloud of ice. Especially the eye having lit too. I don't like it.
It is kind of risky, but it is a good place to get early levels. Looks like Czar is gonna start making his trek out. As Will is gonna take his second dive into Volcano, probably gonna go for the rest of the chests on this floor. Avoiding certain tiles that are trap tiles that are lovely to run into. And with that Mazmoon, a lot of things are just gonna go away.
You're not worried much about what's gonna hit you with a Mazmoon.
Looks like Will's gonna go out, save get his spell charges back and head straight back in. I'm thinking we might see an Agama grind out of him down on the lower floors.
Well, you don't have, like, you have Fade, you don't have Nuke, for, which could, really, because,
he does have a
Kenny
mass
has,
Nuke.
like, this one against all against, lightning, ice, and fire, so it might be, the question is, like, how many Fade charges you keep to carry them.
I would wager he's just gonna
no
hit
problem.
with the Mazmute a couple
Yeah, you got
times.
Massa too, so it's not that big of a deal.
But I could see him definitely grinding at least a few levels on an Agama, maybe killing one of his fighters off so the rest of the party can get some more levels. Zar coming in with more unrunnable wizards. Looks like he's pretty low on spell charges. But that mage staff is doing some work. Now, for anyone unfamiliar with how lava tiles work, the reason why our runners are going to be running on said lava tiles, even though that does hurt the party, is that on lava tiles, you don't get encounters. So the more that our runners run on lava, the less encounters they're actually going to run into. Zar heading for Czardia. What does Czardia give us? Czardia gives the tail! Now, does this wager a trip up to the Czardia Islands, or as we say, the Czardia Islands?
If you have Dragon Armor, you probably have to go one. You've got to go just for Dragon Armor.
And considering he does not have a black belt that he has to worry about match defense levels, I'd wager he should go up there pretty soon. Ooh, the black shirt in...
for Zar, the Red Mage could learn life.
Oh, that's true!
The Red Wizard, I mean, that's also one reason why you would want to class change as soon as possible.
I'm considering he just found the black shirt for his black mage. Zar's got a pretty nice set of items right now.
White shirt, you could equip them for, if you want to. It's pretty much as good as a gold bracelet. Maybe you lose a bit of evasion, but like the difference is so minimal for that, so that you got more against time and ice, and white shirt protects you against death, and it helps you to have those.
Zar having some problems though getting out of the Titan's tunnel with his loot, as the Georges are proving to be a little bit of a problem. Well, the regular ogres, the Georges seem to be the nicer of the bunch. And Zara's just saying, nah, I'm not having that, and he's just gonna kill him off. Oh, life 2 and exit at level 5. That is something nice to see.
It's great, and like it's learnable also for the red mage, so that helps. Life 2 is
That is also nice. And Zara's gonna go dive some Earth Cave right now. He can actually finish it considering that they got the rod from the king, so I'm curious if he's just gonna go down some floors and see what happens, or if he's gonna go all the way through. Because he's not stopping to check any chests, at least not on the first floor.
He might check a couple of chests here and there, like I'm guessing he's going to probably check the vampire chest. Like, since I don't think he has ARP, he's going to...
Pro ring.
Like, it's not as interesting to check D4 on the upper right side.
That is fair. He does find the Bane Sword. Bane Sword, lovely for some Bane strats on certain bosses. It's like Will's checking his... Maybe he's checking his magic choices? Charges? Looks like he's not gonna really Agma grind though. Looks like he's just gonna get out of here. Did you see what I just saw on Zara's screen, Ollie?
I'm not sure. I saw Opal.
It was the Opal armor. Now, if that doesn't tell me that he's gonna go class change after Earth, I don't know what does.
I mean, the Opal armor will probably be good money. That's what it will be used for, because he doesn't have a second fighter, so he's gonna sell it for, I don't know what, maybe heal, maybe houses.
Keep the dragon armor, sell the Opal. I like this plan.
It's probably the better player. It's not like you really need a second Opal armor, unless you think you... The only reason why the Opal armor is useful is if he drops the dragon armor, and I don't think he's going to do that.
I don't either. Will going into the carry fight. As Czardia has seen the vampire, killed the vampire, and basically looted his house. Literally. Carrie's starting off with a fire, too. And the confusion hits. Lovely.
Confusion makes the fight pretty much trivial now, because like Carrie's going to cast fire on himself. So that's fun for you.
And we've got our first orb lit by Willcleosis beating Carrie. Oh no! We've got really mean Karibs again! We've got Karibs with Toxic, that's not fun!
That's not fun.
Meanwhile, I didn't catch on Zara's side what happened. He's going back and checking through chests again, so he must have wiped to something on the lower floors of Earth.
I didn't see what happened.
Shame on me.
Looks like Will's getting to ice.
Oof, chat pointing out that apparently Zara got Bane wiped. I did not see what had Bane. What had Bane, chat? I am curious to know what lies in store in the Earth Cave.
That's the one thing with Earth, you could do it later, but like with those, could be better because like some enemies will run from you, but I'm not sure if it helps you a lot that much. To level at crazy levels for this, you're probably going to enter Temple of Fiends around like level 20 or so.
Well, chat's on it with the puns. Looks like Geist had Bane.
With Bane is probably like, I think earlier this morning I saw that Geist had Nuke. Bane is probably, it's bad, but it's not as bad as like not having Nuke, because like at least Bane you have one ribbon, so you might as well it doesn't hit the person that has the ribbon. Lucky. And like we know Zar gets unlucky.
Well, the community has coined the term RNG for a reason. Because that tends to come up. As much as we love him, sometimes he has just not the best of luck.
Definitely. I remember I raced him once and like he had the Bismarck moment, so I was like, how did I finish a while? It took me a long time because I was getting he was just unlucky, and like I know he probably he's seen Bismarck, and like I know he's not gonna forget anything with this. You practice it, like once you make a one mistake, you're going to remember it. Not forget to go to to go to Crescent to pick up the what was it? The canoe.
Oh, the bats. Ooh, opal gauntlets. Those are gonna be nice. Yeah, Zara's making some room for those.
But once he gets back, it's for later. But it's still good. Usually opal sells for good money. I'd give you maybe a quarter of a bracelet, something like that.
Zara now on the last floor of Earth. Will meanwhile dealing with the frost dragons, they being properly labeled on his side of things. That is a very terrifying color palette for Lich. Oh dear lord.
Zara loves his color palettes. Good question, where will Zara go? It's this, if he does.
Where does Zara go next? I wager Ordeals. Because there is an item in there that he knows he needs, and the items that he still needs remaining are the loot and the crown and the bottle. However, we also have not seen a vendor item yet.
3 places he can really check. There's Caravan, there's Onrak, and there's I think he's going to check Czardia Islands, and change.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was going immediately to the islands. Yeah, looks like he's gonna go check those wonderful free chests guarded by the cats, I mean the dragons. They're totally cats, though. They get in your way just for the sake of getting in your way. Like, oh, you need to go check this chest? Nah, how about I sit in your way for a solid 30 seconds?
It's like, especially in the... has a bit of a forest, those are not fun.
I know which one you're talking about. I believe it's this one. Oof, and the white mage down on Will's side, so no life for him right now. Second ribbon found for Zar in the Czardia Islands. So that's nice. And he's just gonna exit right out of there.
Pick up, honestly. 2 ribbons, you have Massa Moon. Like, the only really good thing that you would want to find would be Defense Sword or Bonk. Those would be really good for you.
Zar doesn't have Massa just yet. He's gonna get the Masmane when he gets into Volcano, but he hasn't gone on there right yet.
So that probably means that he's going to check a lot of chests. Maybe he finds a Scal, maybe he finds Whirlpool. Or that he loves so much, and like he would probably be happy just finding it with the bonk.
It would not surprise me if Zara checked a bunch of chests for the sake of finding Whirlpool.
that it's not that it's a bad sword. It's for those flags. It's not what you. It's not like a 500% where like Chaos got has stupid absorb, where you really need. It's to get through to be able to really damage him, but like with this, check.
500% seeds are very interesting.
I was going to the caravan.
Well, they haven't found the vendor item yet. There's the vendor item! The crown is at the caravan, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like he's gonna do the crown quest right now. Now, Will getting his slab, Azar gets his crystal. And Will not gonna go for the eye grinds. There's a good bite of Astos. Now, once Zara has his crown into his key, what do you think his next move will be?
I think he's going to hunt for the crown chest first, especially those in Dwarf Cave, Elfland, and also Cornelia. I don't think he's gonna check a lot more. Maybe he's gonna check also Norfolk's Castle. Expect him to check a lot more than those.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to go down into, back down to Marsh. Considering that we do not have any other incentivized items that are gonna be in Marsh.
At Temple of Fiends, even Temple of Fiends, unless like you really find nothing, which surprised that he doesn't find anything.
Well, we have 2 incentivized locations left. We've got Castle Ordeals, and we've got the adamants in the Elven Treasury, so there's one thing we need.
For him, like, I think it also means that he's going probably to go to Dwarf straight now, because like he needs the added. Excalibur will be his best weapon for now.
Yep, he's selling a bunch of the items and weapons that he doesn't need. He's probably, as you said, gonna go sell the opal armor. Looks like he's also going and grabbing the magic for his knight.
I mean,
and the knight can learn Fade, that's nice.
So those are not, especially the Exfer. I know Zar likes Exfer, and like Exfer is not bosses like to be able to do damage for with magic when you don't have nuke, which I don't think we have seen yet.
And he's gonna get white magic for his red mage, well, red wizard now as well. I completely agree with this. Getting the keylock chests, getting the magic for his party, and then we've got 2 incentivized locations left. We've got Castle Ordeals and we've got the waterfall. So the bottle and the loot have to be in one of those 2 locations. I think this is a really good move.
Question is where he's gonna go after this. I mean, the question is, finish just checking the crown lock chest. Would he go to Ordeals, or will he go to... I understand why going to Ordeals before, because probably have to go back. If the ball is there, you go back to double limit no matter what. But like, you're going to have to go to Ordeals no matter what, so I think Ordeals, hoping for the ball, better, faster routing.
Because then you could go straight
Like,
from Ordeals to up to Gaia and get the Oxio.
yeah, I think it's probably better to go to Ordeals first, mainly for that reason.
I like that plan.
What he'll do.
Let's see what the dwarves have. Looks like just some money. Oh, wizard staff, not bad.
Yeah, it could help against Carrie, because like Zara hasn't beaten him yet.
That is true. Meanwhile, Will is getting some item management done on his side. I'm hoping he remembers that he got the floater early and goes and gets that. Zara almost taken off without checking the Canaria Castle Armory. We got some money, a house, another house. And, ooh, the Thor hammer. That's nice.
The second best weapon for the White Mage. I don't think he's gonna really use it except for when he doesn't want to cast Spade. When he wants to his White Mage to do something and attack.
Will, seeing that he does have the floater, at least I hope he caught that. Will? Oh no. Oh no, is he forgetting he's the floater? I think he is.
So he asked, we'll see if he remembers.
Oh my goodness. I don't believe Will remembers that he is the floater. Looks like he's sailing up to Castle Ordeals, maybe?
To Ordeals or Waterfall. I'm not sure where he'll go.
He could go to either. Czardia is gonna go to Ordeals, though. Let's see what happens. Now, I don't believe he went back and picked up Warp, so he's just gonna have to take the... Yeah, he paused for a second there. He's regretting not having it, I bet. He's gonna have to take the pillars as they come, considering that, as one of the many things that is randomized in Final Fantasy Randomizer, the pillars in Ordeals are also randomized. Though, if you use Warp, it will return you to the previous pillar. So, if you manage to take the wrong fork, you can warp back and then take the correct one.
It's really helpful, and like it allows you to really check this fast. Because that's sometimes people don't like it, but you've got to go, and you also have to remember, okay, did I go there? Or was it sometimes I'm wondering, wait, did I go here in this part, or like is it the wrong way I chose? Sometimes I forget. It's also one place that you have to, where the use of warp is really useful because it allows you to maybe like if it's like in the further pillar, especially in the 4 pillars room, have warp.
Now, Will's gonna go check the waterfall cave, so we're gonna see what's gonna go on both ends of which place has the tail and which place has the bottle. Alright, we are an hour in. So for the people who are just joining us, time for a recap. King had the rod, Sarah had the floater, Bicky the pirate had the cube. Czardia had the tail. The canoe sages had the canoe. TNT was found in a chest in Marsh Cave. The crown was given by... Allie, help me, I'm blanking.
The caravan.
Thank you. The crown was the merchant item in the caravan, and the slab was in Ice Cave. The adamant was found in a chest in the Czardia Islands, if I'm remembering correctly. We are still missing the loot and the bottle, which could be in one of two incentivized locations. Castle Ordeals and the Waterfall Cave. Czardia is currently in Castle Ordeals. Will's currently in the Waterfall Cave. Synchronized incentivized items. So we've got the loot in Castle Ordeals, and we've got the bottle in Waterfall Cave. Luckily, Willcleosis has exit on his white mage, and so therefore can leave without having to run through all of Waterfall again.
Yeah, that also means that Czar will have to double dip on the waterfall / on-rack locations. He's a bit disappointed, but like, I think that was the right play. I don't think it was the wrong play. I mean, he would have to double dip no matter what.
So now that we know where all of the items are, save for the ruby, but this is not a ruby-required seed, so it's not like it matters very much. Other interesting items of note. There was a ribbon in the Czardia Islands, as well as, I believe, also Marsh?
It was in Marsh, top floor, about second floor.
There we go. And the Moss Moon was in the armory in Volcano. Czar has lit up the Earth Orb and killed Lich, while Will, finally picking up his floater, has killed Carrie. Ah, the beloved steak. Or Tyro. So there is another fun percent option, which is Team Steak or Team Tyro. Which is a very heated debate in the community. So, Allie, what team were you on? Are you on Team Tyro or are you on Team Steak?
Well, I honestly, like, it's really, I was on Team Tyro before, but like, I saw a couple of times and like I killed some steaks, and like, I don't think I can go back.
So Allie, are Tyro friends or food?
Food. They're so juicy. Good as T-Rexes, but they're pretty good. Sandworms are like some great alimentation for your light warriors, but and wyverns, also known as steak and wings, are also a good way to gain those levels.
Gotta get that protein to go beat chaos, right?
Either.
I believe I've also made it very obvious what team I'm on. With that comment, anyway. Will has picked up his floater, has gone to Czardia, picked up his tail. He's also gonna go class change.
To get the slab translated. He might go straight. The question is like, will he go to Waterfall or will he go straight to Mirage Last Castle?
I could see Czar going straight into Mirage, honestly. With the chime where he is right now. Oh, pardon me. Hiccups. With Czar having the chime now, I could potentially see a dip into Mirage. Maybe for a couple levels. I'm not sure he'd be comfortable going all the way through, but then again, this is Zar we're talking about. He is going to go into Mirage. He knows this game extremely well.
Like, I'm wondering if he will be looking for the bomb that still hasn't been found. Is some item that would be useful for endgame.
That is true. The Power Bonk, aka the Power Gauntlet, has not been found. Willcleosis is getting his second ribbon of the night for himself.
Czardia picking up flame armor with the flame shield, which is an improvement, but not by much. You're looking for would be Opal or Aegis, especially Aegis.
Aegis Shield is a lovely thing to have.
Because like that would mean with Aegis, throwing and like aside like for Temple of Fiends, the only things that are really worrying you is Zap and Crack.
Right, question in chat. Are the reloads that Zara is doing similar to the save and quits? No, they are not. The reloads that Zara is doing is to manipulate the encounter table. Now, if you do a soft reset, then you are moving forward through the encounter table, advancing it by 1, as since the encounter table is randomized as well as this, for those of you who are in chat who have played the vanilla Final Fantasy, who have speedrun the vanilla Final Fantasy and are used to manipulating the encounter table and knowing how many steps before each encounter, that's randomized from seed to seed. So, you could have 4 steps before the first encounter, you could have 20 steps before the first encounter. But for each seed, the encounter table remains the same. So, you can either soft reset to move the encounter table up by 1, or if you do a hard reset, you can put the encounter table all the way back to the beginning. It's really useful for trying to avoid certain encounters, or if you're trying to find a very long run between, say, one encounter to the next.
Sometimes when you have like short encounters and you find a long line, it may be useful to like burn some encounters early. But sometimes if you see it got like tons of encounter early, you might just not power cycle at all because you don't feel like it's going to help you.
I've got another question. How long do these random runs last? Now, it can last from an hour and a half to, if you've got a really unlucky seed and some newer runners, close to 3 hours. Depends on the seed and depends on the runners. Typically, I'd give it about an hour and a half, 2 hours, barring something really trolly or horrible happening.
Because like it's often because is there an enemy with double nuke? If there is, it's probably going to take you a while to beat this, because you might need your fighter to get probably to like 25, 26, and like you might not want to add.
Will is diving down into Earth Cave now, as Czardia is going up through Sky Castle. And this is a very close together part of the encounter table, so it's a a lot of encounters in a short span of time. Ooh, that's a sight for sore eyes.
That's pretty good. I mean, Defense Sword will help you, because I don't think Ruse was learnable for the night. So it's going to be useful, Fiends, because, like, you know 3 casts of Ruse, and you're invincible. And with Invis2 being level 2, and like with the white shirt also, you might not need, like, you might go with, like, 1, 2 Invis2, and you're pretty much,
Until RNG decides to smack you around a bit and go, nope, you're getting hit anyway. But that's...
You go to critical miss.
Yeah, that's less often than not. White shirt plus defense sword is a very nice thing to have.
It helps. Sometimes in Temple of Fiends, you know Chaos got stupid spells, and like you're just hoping that you get him in a loop so that he never hits you, and you hit him for a certain amount of damage, and that will stay the same. Makes that strategy valid.
So... Sorry?
Set to auto-run, or do FF1 characters really walk that fast? Actually, yeah, they are auto-running. If you want them to walk, you can hold B. Before it was the inverse. It was like you had to hold B to run, but now it's just walk and you're going to run. So that's a good improvement. It makes the seat faster, and like it also makes your thumbs a bit happier.
Absolutely. Another question in chat: how complicated can our run get? Now, what you are talking about is something that can happen in some of the beta stuff that has been casting about fetch quest being randomized. However, a fetch quest turn-in so far will not be randomized. So, you will always need the tail to promote from Bahamut. You will always need to give the crystals Matoya. However, in some of the alpha seeds that we've been messing around with, you could give the crystals of Matoya and end up getting, I don't know, a cabin, or like 200 gold. So, the fetch quests remain the same, but what they give you can differ. You can also find the urban chest. That's all in alpha beta testing, the lovely things that we love to stay up really late at night and do. And considering both Willcleosis and Czardia on numerous occasions have been part of said tests, nothing really phases these runners anymore. Whatever a seed throws at them, they can handle. And there's our third ribbon! On the third floor of Sky.
That's really good for Czardia. I mean, he's going to get this ribbon, his third ribbon, and like I don't think he would be worried in Temple of Fiends. He might even like not put a ribbon on his spider, and if he finds Needle's shield, he still hasn't found it, so I think I would. Like, I don't know which member he will find more valuable for ribbons.
Oh, there's his baby!
That's...
So, Czar is a very large fan of the Vorpal sword. I'm certain he's very happy he found that.
She was hunting for it.
Oh, I'm almost certain he was hunting for it. Here's the thing, though. Now that he's found it, and considering that Volcano is going to be the 3rd or 4th dungeon he goes into, is he going to find the Masmian, though? Is he going to check the armory in there?
Doesn't have the power bonk, so it might be interesting what he would do with without, because like verbal without the power bonk means that that's hard if you don't crit, and like if when you crit, not that much damage.
Zara losing 2 of his party members to whiz vamps.
I know you don't like them. They're usually hitting hard, and it's not different today.
Whiz vamps are just awful, but ribbons are a lovely, lovely thing to have. They help you resist the instant death magic that can be cast by whatever enemy ends up rolling having said instant death magic. Because that could be on anybody. What a place for the bridge! Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
the bridge has been found in the 3rd floor of Sky Castle.
And like we are soon to encounter the Bridge of Destiny, so maybe you want to see the world famous Warmech and put your bless RNGs in chat.
That's something I can get behind.
Like seeing Warmech wouldn't be that bad because like you would learn what he has and like you would know what he has that the other fiends don't. Nuke, well, maybe you die, but at least you know that there's like 1 nuke off the table and like there's only 2 more nukes that are on the table from they have the fiends in Temple of Fiends Revisited.
That is something to think about. Will going and getting his own Oxyale, having beaten Lich very handily, and reviving 2 of his party members who have died along the way. Now, something that would be interesting to see is, considering that the Warmech, as you said, does share a spell list with the Fiends Revisited and with Chaos, what the Fiends do and don't have.
From what I remember, I don't know how many nuclears that Warmech has. I think he's like got 4. So you've got like 4 nuclears that are there. You've got 3 nukes. The Sword Inferno. You've got Crack because it's an instant death spell. You've got Zap also. This, I think Zap and yep. Oh, that's not Quake. It's Bane.
That was a very colorful Tiamat today. I wonder if Czardia will go with the Bane strats. Definitely going with the Defense Sword. As Willcleosis is going to go into Mirage Castle into Sky for his first peek in here for his 3rd Fiends, and did Tiamat just hit his fighter super hard, or what did that get hit with?
That Death Touch?
I'm not certain.
I'm not sure.
Oh, chat's saying Death Touch. Oh boy. We have a death-touching Tiamat, ladies and gentlemen.
Not fun.
So not only is Tiamat hitting super hard, but has Death Touch. That's fantastic.
Oh, it's a question, do you really want to face Tiamat now?
Oh, that is not fun!
Czardia will do.
Oh, and a wipe for Czar.
Looks like Czar is leaving, or where does he have to? He's going north? I'm guessing it's Volcano.
Yeah, looks like he's going to the volcano.
Question is, will Will see the same thing as Czar?
Oh, looks like he's about to. Everyone get your bless RNGs back in chat as we have a second chance for the Warmech.
I think I fire on this back row. I don't know which one he has. Yes, but it's going too fast. A question in chat, what's easier, Warmech or Death Tiamat? I would say Warmech is probably easier, but... And like, you have the Fates, you have arsenals that you can use, but like... Kinda hurt, but it's possible. But, some careful ready in case.
He's going with Bane strats! Bane hits! Tiamat is down for Willcleosis because of the Bane spell.
That's what Czar says, like he never sees, he sees everything, and he, like, will probably saw it, but like he was able to get through. You think it helps him a lot. It's a close race now.
The third orb is lit for Willcleosis because he has gotten the Bane off on Tiamat. Thing is, though, Will did not get the Vorpal or the third ribbon.
That's a big question once Czar comes back to, will he check, not will he check, but like, will he go to pick up that third ribbon and that Vorpal? I'm guessing he will, because he probably remembers where it was.
He'll pick up the Vorpal, it's his baby.
Gonna pick it up, but I mean, like, you know what's there anyways, like, he pretty much, I'm guessing he knew pretty much where it was, like, it's understandable to, like, try to, that, and you want to gain those levels just because to get something.
Oh, chat is asking, is ZaRNG a thing in this game? I don't know, is Death Touching Tiamat considered ZaRNG?
More. I mean, Will saw it, so I don't think... Will saw it, it's just that Will probably was more prepared for a Death Touch, and like, he was lucky that he been hit.
questions about the tracker. The shirt is the white shirts, the glove is the power gauntlet on the tracker. The swords are the defense sword, the katana, the vorpal, and the masmune. And yes, both runners do have the white shirt. Do all mobs... Oh, sorry?
Yeah, I was the question in chat. No Excalibur on the tracker. Actually, there is. It's just above the It's because like it's in the you've got the adamant that becomes Excalibur. It's on top, just right next to the floater. The ruby, if you can see on the tracker.
Sorry to cut in. The Excalibur is right next to the canoe on the...
Everyone in chat, give thanks to our wonderful tracker who just cut in. She has been sitting here, just doing all of the clicking on the bottom, and it's been fantastic.
Shadow play so like you can see who has what. Now all people want to have Agamafax. I don't have them. Star loves Agamas because they don't hit that hard.
Will is just tearing through Seashine right now. He is on his way to Kraken. Unfortunately, I have not seen Brack this seed, so there will be no Bracken of the Kraken, unfortunately. But maybe we'll see more Bane!
Yeah, Bane's level 2, so like you probably have a lot of casts of it. Level 7 or 8, because like I don't think we've seen all of them. Like, and it's not the first 6 levels, so it's like when it's past level 6, often you might check level 7 spells. If you have a black mage or white mage, but like you won't check. I don't think you're gonna check level 8, even if it's like life 2 or nuke. Be bad. On to Willcleosis is on to Kraken now. He hits.
Kraken is not hitting very hard. That could also be because it hit a fighter with a very good set of equipment, but still, that is one of the weaker Krakens I've seen for some time. Question in chat, Zara's other characters do not gain the experience. All of their experience is going to go to the fighter who is currently still alive.
And he gets 4 times the experience that he would get if runners were all alive. So that helps his fighter to be at a really high level and like should be able to one-shot a lot of things. With like a lot of bosses, and like I think he just wants to get those levels to make sure that the top Tiamat one will be a piece of cake.
Hey, at least it's not Death Touch Tiamat 2. Because that just sounds awful. Like, saying that out loud, Death Touch Tiamat 2, that's terrifying.
Kraken, I felt Kraken 2, I feel bad, but when you think about it, Kraken that hits you probably kills you anyways.
Yeah, Kraken 2, it doesn't really matter if it's Death Touch or not. If it's hitting you, you're probably losing that warrior of light. Light warrior, whatever they're called. Do you want Death Touch Tiamat 2? Because that's how you get Death Touch Tiamat 2. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, how high Za will go for his grind.
Czardia is heading now to go and utterly murder Carrie. And he's just gonna bring his party back to life, because why not? He's got the spell charges for it.
Once he entered, that's the question. I'm not sure how much. I mean, it helps.
Looks like Willcleosis is going to... Where is he heading now? I'm curious. Oh, right. Willcleosis is heading into Castle Ordeals because he has not yet picked up his loot. And Castle Ordeals is the only location that he has not yet checked. And he knows it has to be there.
As it doesn't have the key yet. So he has to the prince.
Has he not gotten the key from the prince?
Prince is still sleeping. He needs his herb.
Well, while he's going through his items, I hope that he notices that. Does the character order have an effect in combat? Yes, it does. The person at the top of the party has a higher chance of getting smacked. So when you're trying to not die to, like, Kraken or a death-touching Tiamat, putting the light warrior that you want to get hit the least at the bottom of your party is often a better idea.
Still, as it's mentioned, it's 50% for the character in the top spot, 25 in the second, and 20.5 for the last two members.
Thanks to our tracker again for giving us all of the stat info on that Martian. As for the incentive bridge or ship, the ship was in a box. As was the bridge. But the ship was in a box in, I believe, Temple of Fiends?
Was.
Meanwhile, the bridge was found, but currently not well, that's a word. The bridge was found, but currently no one has it, because Czar found it in the 3rd floor of Sky, but then died in Tiamat.
Oh, like I'm wondering, like it's about 1 minute 40 in, and nobody has finished. Czar, or if you will, am I too slow, or like is Temple of Fiends really hard, or is it really Death Touch Tiamat that's the reason why that you think you're behind or you think you're ahead?
That is certainly something to consider. Now, as Will has just gotten his loot, and he's just gonna exit right the heck out of there. And no, Will does not have the key yet. Will still has the herb. I'm really hoping he realizes that.
The worst thing that could happen is going to Temple of Fiends and seeing him using the loot and seeing, hey, what is this? Why can't I move on? I don't understand.
Oh, there's the Aegis Shield. The Aegis Shield is in the 1st floor of Earth.
Questions like once Czar comes back to Kai, will he go for the ribbon because like he's got the Aegis Shield? That would maybe to not pick it up.
There we go. Now he's got the key. As we are almost ready to head into Temple of Fiends Revisited, which I think is almost where Will's gonna go before looks like he's gonna go ahead to Dwarves, which seems like a good idea. Will has everything that he needs in order to go and kick Chaos in the butt. If he doesn't get kicked in the butt first. Who knows?
Question, if I'm Will, is like, I would think I'm behind. Both would think they're behind, because like Czar knows that he lost a lot of time with Death Touch Tiamat. But Will might think he's behind because he forgot the floor, I think. He did go to Waterfall by boat, which probably, it might not be... It's slower because, like, you have to get encounters while you're on boat. I won't get some. Go to Waterfall.
Well, there were jokes about Ruby and Earth. Ruby's and Earth, just not required. Well, as Willcleosis is heading into Temple of Fiends Revisited, as he is going through and just checking chests in the way.
Interesting pick.
It's being brought up why Czar is trying to full clear dungeons. Czar may not remember that he has the bottle to grab in Waterfall. I hope he does. However, he might just be looking for things.
Be looking for the power bomb. That's what I would think.
That is probably...
Aside from that, I'm trying to see what he's looking for. Waterfall.
I think you're right in that he would be looking for the power gauntlet. Because power bonks are very, very nice for late game.
With Bane, I would probably think of putting a ribbon on one of my mages, just because they can survive. My fighter is pretty much with his dragon armor and Aegis.
I really hope Zara's not running around looking for the bottle.
Marsh?
He might think it's in a keylock chest.
2 chests there. One there.
So, question in chat of why go back into Marsh. Marsh has a number of keylocked chests that Zara could not access when he was in here the first time. Now, I'm going to agree with chat here, and I do think that Zara may have forgotten about the waterfall, which is going to be very... not going to be a fun time. Looks like Will's choosing to gain a couple levels in Temple of Fiends Revisited and using exit to get out of there before full taking on the gauntlet that it has to offer. Oh, Zara's leaving. Does he remember the waterfall? No, he's going into Temple of Fiends for the keylock chests. Unless he's just doing this because he knows Bottle happens to be in Waterfall, and he's trying to prepare himself for Kraken. Which, he doesn't know, but he doesn't really have to worry about considering Kraken is actually not that scary this seed.
I think it's more Carrie he's more worried about.
Didn't he already kill Carrie?
Yes, Zara has already killed Carrie.
Tiamat, sorry.
Again, thank you to our lovely tracker. Zara looks like he might be going to Waterfall now? There we go, yep, that's where Zara's going.
Sticking to the rivers that he knew.
Ooh, okay, gas dragons are very not nice. They're unrunnable and they have quad axe. That's mean. And I believe I saw they had frost as well. Eek.
It's not good. The question, if you will, is do you really continue this, or do you go sit and use a house and like try again gas dragons, because they take a lot of resources to kill, and I would understand if I am to just exit out, because like it's like there's like a moment you don't want to keep going and keep your charges. Wasting your phase for them is maybe not the ideal solution.
I would wager, considering he has exit on a pretty convenient spot for spell charges, I would wager if anything he'd exit out before things got super duper dicey. Like he's doing right now. He's gonna get his spell charges spent back and then he's gonna go back in.
And maybe hope that he doesn't get gas dragons this time.
It all depends on where he ends up in the encounter table.
He's on to Waterfall, so he's going to pick up his bottle.
Now, does he take the trap tile? He does. It looks like he's gonna go for it. And he's getting a really nice run through to Phantom, which is unrunnable. Actually, well, it's not unrunnable, he's just not being able to run from it. It is runnable.
So he's got probably a really high, not evasion, but maybe not that high, but enough to ambush his party.
Apparently so.
Fantasy is like every enemy that can ambush you or that you can strike first on, you can run from them.
A lovely run through the earth floor without much issue at all. I wonder how many Bane strats we're gonna see. I'm hoping for a decent amount, but Lich 2 is down without much incident.
The one you're worried about usually. Unless he has nuke, like in the vanilla version, but even then you're probably going to beat Lich before he beats you.
Great.
Having a life as spells, probably I think he must have picked it up for Temple of Fiends. You're not worried about what really. For bosses it would be different.
To be fair, the ultimate final boss, regardless, is normally Kraken 2, so you can get through Kraken 2, and you still get a decent amount of stuff left in you. It's not the worst. Ooh, Carrie's got Swirl.
Swirl hits.
Well, we know something that Chaos isn't gonna have. And Carrie 2 is down. Choosing to save the life 2 charges for later on. I agree with this. That way also, just in case he still has an exit charge if absolutely necessary. Because I would rather exit out of a really bad Temple of Fiend situation and save all the progress that I've gotten on the levels rather than try to brute force things. Czar heading down to Mermaids.
I think he really wants that power bonk. That's the only reason why he would still chest, because I'm okay, but I highly doubt it.
I agree on that, because there's
like I
really
think that's
no other reason for him to be checking chests like this.
Purple works well if you have the power bonk. If you don't, and like Temper being at Temper was level 6, I think. 5, sorry, it was level 5. So Temper's level 5. You're not gonna get a lot of charges.
He's just gonna go straight out of that. He's not gonna save. He's just gonna reset and head straight for Kraken.
He knows what he's looking for.
Well, it's not the Vorpal. He knows where that is. Ooh, sea snakes with squint. Will gonna take the fight against the sharks in the eye. The big eye, also sometimes affectionately called the experience pinata.
as long as they don't have something that's really nasty, which I haven't seen, I think it's a good idea.
And they're not doing too much damage either, so I can get behind this decision.
One slight thing to point out for anyone who is new to varied two people running the same thing can be, as Will has the Masamune, whereas Czardia has found everything but the Masamune. And Will has not found either of the other two.
I believe Zara picked up Masmoon. That is something good to bring up, though, that Will does not have a defense sword, and that is something that can be very useful to Slate in the game.
Yes, like, especially it allows you to manual this, like, with a fighter. Yeah, but, like, you know, he doesn't have the bonk, so it's like the defense power bonk is pretty much the best strategy when you have a solo fighter. But like, I don't think he's worried about doing a solo fighter because he's got life. He's got enough life that I would be surprised that he runs out of life charges to get out of Temple of Fiends Revisited.
With the way this water floor has been going, I'm just worried that Will's gonna run out of heal pots before this getting through Tiamat.
He's taking a lot of encounters. He doesn't think he's...
He is, nothing's worrying me. To be fair, he's not using spell charges, he's going with, like, the black shirt, the Zeus gauntlet. I'm just worried that he's gonna run out of healing pots first.
I'm trying to get his Masamune building character to level 24, so we can get 5 swings of Masamune. And I'm guessing he's got some fast charges, maybe 10.
That's a good point. And he is using the heal staff to decent effect.
He's got 2 fighters, he's only one to get to 24. If one dies to Draken, maybe you put Masamune on the one that survived.
Well, Zara's done with Kraken 1, as Will heads into Kraken 2. Let's see how mean Kraken 2 is gonna be today. Starting off with a lit 2, not the worst thing in the world. Getting, from what I can see, 2 charges of Invis 2 off and the white shirt, so that'll be nice. As Zara's heading back to face the lovely, lovely thing that is Tiamat 2. Well, Tiamat 1, but considering the death touch, about as scary as Tiamat 2, to be honest.
It's not as scary.
Now the question is, what chest Zara's gonna... There it is! There's the power bonk! I'm gonna cut myself off there.
Many chests that he didn't check, so he probably remembered that he didn't check this one, I think, and he just said, oh, I can probably get it. I'm anyways to check if it was there, and it went.
Is through Kraken 2.
He survived, which is also good.
Without too many casualties, which is rather impressive.
Yeah, I always expect someone to die to Kraken 2.
Well, Kraken 2 did pull out Quad X and try.
Not really. You're not worried about Quad X because you probably have bought Pro Rings.
That is fair. Looks like you can take the time on an encounter that isn't going to hardly murder him to heal up his party with the heal and helmet and staff. Zara, I believe, heading back over for either the Vorpal or one of the ribbons. Alright, Tiamat 2, let's do this, Willcleosis. What are you gonna pull out? Possibly main strats? I'm personally rooting for main strats.
I'm surprised. Beat strats aren't the most reliable lists. So yeah, this late, because like Tiamat's got like really high magic defense.
That's totally fair.
Up again the vocal and hoping he can Destiny and beat that he hasn't beaten in Tiamat 2, in Tiamat 1.
Chad, if you're wanting a war mech, now's the last time. Oh god, and it's a war mech! Chad, we have our war mech, as Willcleosis downs Tiamat 2, and it looks like Zara's considering this.
I mean, it's not that bad to face a war mech anyways, because it's tough, but like, I don't know how much it will help him once he face the war mech. He doesn't know, but like he's like 2 hours in, he must know either like I'm lucky, someone got lucky, or he got lucky, Will got lucky against Tiamat, or I didn't. He doesn't know. Wipe also, but it's hard to know.
Oh, this is also good for us, because now we get to see what Warmech has and what Chaos might not. We've not seen Nuke or Nuclear from any of the bosses, so I'm curious. Warmech is down for Czardia. That's a heck of a lot of experience. As Willcleosis is going into the Chaos fight. We've not seen any of his skill or spell slots yet, so I'm curious to see as to what Chaos is going to throw at Willcleosis for this run. We're about 2 hours in. Zar having lit 3 of the 4 orbs and is now on to facing death-touching Tiamat. while Willcleosis is dealing with chaos that you can use fast, so that's not gonna be fun. I'm wondering how Czar is gonna handle this death-touching Tiamat.
Vorpal on the fighter and the Masamune on the red mage looks like is way to go.
Nice 2 from Chaos, looks like. And... oh no, Tiamat's just gonna kill the Black Mage outright. Not gonna actually death touch it, just damage to death. Well, death touch is being nice this time.
It helps that he only got hit once.
That is nice. Tiamat's not done yet. Oh, there goes the red mage, but I think Zara's got it with this hit. Yep. And Tiamat is down for Czardia. That is all 4 orbs lit for Czardia to go and now enter the Temple of Fiends, finish this out. However, Willcleosis is on Chaos. This is one Chaos wipe away from this being a very close race. Nope, there it is! Chaos is dead.
Oh, the mage staff finishing ahead of Chaos. That was like, it's not the one that you're expecting. It's the seed, but it worked.
That is game for Willcleosis, beating Chaos with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 28 seconds. Meanwhile, Czardia has just entered the Temple of Fiends.
I don't think it's gonna take that much time for Czardia to finish this because he's got everything that's needed.
He is extremely well prepared for this Temple of Fiends Revisited. His fighter is also, what, level 29, 30 at this point? So he's got a pretty good wall. Like, he's just gonna smack everything with that fighter and it's gonna go down.
And I think we are joined by Willcleosis. GG, sir.
Allie, Jerbrath, Rainbow, Boogle, how are you?
Good. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of surprised because, like, at the beginning, it seemed that you were behind because you forgot the floater, and I think you went to it was like, and like, the big difference was you might have seen Tiamat one at Death Touch.
Yeah, he got two of my light warriors. He got the
So
first one.
got, like,
Yeah, the first one right off the
there.
bat took out the knight with a direct hit, and then the second one was also a melee attack, took out the black wizard.
So, fun fact about that. Czar had a bit of a problem with that. Czar wiped Tiamat 1 because of Death Touch, and you got Tiamat 1 down with Bane.
Wow. Poison smoke for the win.
Yeah, that set Czar back by a decent portion. 'Cause
How
he left after that.
So you had the level grinding more than likely, you had checking at the chest, so all he got out of it was knowledge and lost a lot of time. How did it look that the time went from the time that I lost from not really realizing the floater was sitting on my inventory versus what he lost there?
He lost more time.
He lost more time also because he also went to he went everywhere. Like he went to Marsh, Roundlap Marsh. He went to Earth. He full cleared. He cleared most of Earth, most of I think he cleared pretty much everything. There's like not a thing that
Where was
he
the
hasn't.
Power Gauntlet?
Power Gauntlet was on the first floor of Sky in the chest to the south of the teleporter.
Okay. That's what I was looking for towards the end there. When I was headed to the Temple of Fiends Revisited, I stopped off at Dwarves. I had it routed correctly. I did forget the loot. I had it in the back of my mind. I meant to go grab the loot right after, but I was so excited, knew I was behind, and I knew I was blowing through all those things. I was worried about my levels. I'm trying to prepare for that dive because I think at that point we were right around the 140 mark, and we're starting to get past the average time that people, that really good players are playing this. And Czar, I mean, he's a fantastic player, so I was really worried.
Yeah, the deciding factor in this seed was definitely Czar wiping to Tiamat 1 and you not wiping to Tiamat 1.
Okay, how's Czar doing?
He's just murdered Lich in the face. Lich 2 is down.
Let's go, Czar. Finish us off.
Oh, also, the second time that Czar went on the Bridge of Destiny, guess what decided to pop in?
Czar NG making a comeback with the nuclear robot Warmech?
I don't believe the Warmech had nuclear, but there was definitely a Warmech.
Was he packing?
Yeah, it was a Warmech.
Ish. I think I thought I saw Lit 3. A couple other things.
3 Blaze. I remember seeing that.
I played a lot of these games, obviously. Poogle, you played a lot of these games. Allie, you have. We've observed a lot of them, and you know all the work that we do here with Final Fantasy Randomizer. I've never seen an encounter taper like that, let alone play one.
That was a heck of a lot of gas dragons front-loaded at Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Correct, and that was the plan. I was going to try to figure that out. I had a pretty decent plan for the beginning of Mirage, and I was actually able to guess right. It wasn't, I'll guess, directly in the dark, but I thought I knew what was going on when I had done from the chime, when I had gotten the chime. And it looks like I was right there, but I knew I wasn't close the first time I entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, at level 19, okay, basic Willcleosis game. I better get some levels. I don't know where Czar is. There's no way he forgot the floater like I did. He's probably in here too. He might be having some trouble. I'm going to get a couple levels, but then me kind of kicked in, and I decided I was going to wait for a run in the encounter table and take as many of those front-loaded ones that I possibly could, and as many of those experience-rich fights, get out of there, save, and hope for a good run, which I got. I got a good run through that floor with the worms and the frost dragons, and a really good run through the earth area, but it got me back in the water floor, the worst floor possible. It was the same encounter group that came get me. It was the Wizard Say Hags and the Grey Sharks. I must have spent 10 minutes AoEing them. I actually was able to use it for a bathroom break really quick, but it was tough on me. But I'm glad it was those and not the waters.
Oof, yeah, speaking of water floor, Czar is just about to head into Kraken 2. Now, something I wanted to ask. You were using life instead of life 2. Was that on purpose to save a charge for exit just in case something went really wrong?
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Yep, you could see me probably checking. I'm looking for the charges, You could see why I went to Volcano and took out Carrie first, because I love Carrie's weakness to status attacks, and that's why I got confused. Paid a lot of money for it earlier in Alphaland because that was my plan if this situation arose.
And looked like it worked even though it didn't end up having to be needed. You got it off, but then you killed Carrie anyway.
Yeah, I took care of her. But it could have been backup. You never know what she has. There is in those fiends pool. You never know what could pop up with her, and she's caused trouble in the past. Look at the time I 2 had Death Touch. Carrie 2 could have had Death Touch, and taken out my Knight and the Black Wizard in the first 2 rounds. So that was the idea, was to go ahead and fast and then attempt to confuse her.
Well, it worked. Oof. Czar taking a wipe to Kraken 2 from 3 of his Light Warriors getting hit melee and then getting rubbed out with his fighter. Well, Knight at this point.
He's saying he's not going to try after seeing that.
Oh no, and with that, that is a forfeit from Czar after a fantastic run, only to get killed by the final boss of the game, the actual boss, Kraken 2.